Is that him?
Wairi.
That's
yes.
Wairi, yeah. Karibuni sana everyone. Again, to Galactic Productions.
I'm Kenny.
Kwenye that show.
That show. With that crew.
With me, Night Atieno.
AfroFabb.
Karibuni sana.
Yani, Wednesday asubuhi nani?
Yeah.
It's another show, another
Mate,
day.
the year is over.
Maze?
The year is over.
Acha niombe kile mtasikia kesho watu wao wanafunga shule.
Merry Christmas.
Tena.
I said it.
Holidays zimeisha. Imebaki ile moja yenye mnangojea.
Merry Christmas.
It's coming.
And for those
I'm sure there are guys who started that countdown.
For those who are looking for those holiday bodies, you know, our sponsors, Galactic Productions, hapa, they're here.
Yani.
Wanakutengeneza mwili.
Panel beating, getting you ready for beach boards.
They chisel you.
Nakwambia. Chongo hapa, chongo
guys,
pale.
Alexa Wellness.
Alexa Wellness has got you.
Don Home Shopping Center opposite St. Mary's School. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings at 6:30. And Saturday boot camp is at 7 a.m. Only 200 shillings. Is that cheaper than a beer?
Twice.
One beer.
Imagine.
One beer.
Imagine you've just forgotten one beer.
4 loaves of bread, small ones. two loaves of bread. Alexa Wellness, chiseling your body.
We've got you, Nani. We've got you.
Established 2020.
I tell you.
Guys,
2020 is not lost.
You know what?
Come and finish this.
Guys, if you've been thinking that 2020 is lost, then perhaps you just haven't done enough.
You've been selfish
with your year. You know what I mean? It's not over yet. You still have a couple of months to go.
Yep. You
Kids
still have time to
school.
redeem.
Wale walikula school fees pia.
Wale walikula ama wakaikunywa.
I feel bad for you, but
we are here with tips for you on
how to make it back.
Mwiba wa kujidunga hauna pole.
You know what I mean?
Hauna pole.
Anyway, let's dive straight into
we are here for you.
Today's topic, main topic, which is millennials.
Yes.
Millennials is usually described in different ways, and it's people born between 1980 and mid-90s Apple. Yeah. Some people say 94, 95, 96, you know. Basically, it's about that time, you know. Yeah. I am technically not a millennial, but I feel like one because I missed it by 2 years. Ni vile nilimiss kwenda national school na 2 points. What is it with me and 2? I don't like the number 2. In fact, don't give me 2 million, give me 4.
In fact.
Yeah, I just double it,
please.
Because that number 2, it's haunted me.
Something.
But at least I'm not a second born. Thank you.
You know, you've actually made me start thinking about the 2s in your life. I'm like, madam, your homework's funny leo. But anyway, you know? Moving on swiftly.
Anyway, millennials. Yeah. Working with millennials, leading millennials. It's like there are good points and bad points, just like with any generation. Yes. And I feel like the millennials have a bit of a rough, what's it called? Nikama waonewa. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're often misunderstood.
Yeah.
Most of the times.
Yeah.
Inakuwa ni watu ni wajuaji, watu ni walezi. Kwanza that one for laziness has been shot so many times. Kumbe it's just because they do things differently.
I think millennials have found themselves in a world that our parents don't understand. Basically, a lot of millennials, they say that they grew up with technology, but certainly in Africa, that's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think if it's about technology, then millennials in Africa should be described as very different. They should be described as children of the 90s. Because if you think about it, people who were born in the 80s in the Western world are very different, have a very different experience from people who were born in the 80s in Africa. You know, but we caught up quick. You know,
that's what we did.
Sisi tuliona computer 1995, lakini we caught up quick.
By the time sisi tunashika floppy disk, watu washaingia kwa mini disk.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But anyway, I think the growing in that world where where everything is moving so fast, has allowed millennials to be innovative. They are tech savvy.
Yes.
They're a lot better educated than any other generation before them.
Truth.
Because if you think about it, most people who lived through the world wars, kuna venye hata watoto wa corona wamewashinda. So you know, so basically, a lot of them, especially those who grew up in Africa, there were less chances of them having a good education. You know what I mean? So it was like for example, when my grandma went to school, it was like if you were a woman, as soon as you grew boobs, you could stop going to school. Like you were ready to go get married. Which is for most girls between 10, 12, 13 apple. So most women had to leave school or
so they didn't
were
get
allowed
to finish the primary education.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but my grandmother was an amazing human being because despite all of that, she built a nice, massive business for herself. She was a fishmonger, and she did an amazing job. And she worked almost till when she was nearly 6 feet under. You know, she was one of those people. She retired to die rather than retiring to go sit there, put her feet up. You know what I mean? But again, millennials are so much better educated.
That's true. That's true.
But also what they want is they don't just do things. We don't just do things because someone said why.
Yes.
Because someone told us.
Because you should do this.
A child should be seen, not heard. Why? A woman should be seen, not heard. Why? Because we ask that question, why? You know?
And that's where the problem is.
You should run 30 minutes a day. Why?
What's the benefit? Like,
you know what I mean?
I need to understand why I need to run for 30 minutes. I need to understand why I'm just to be seen.
That's it. Millennials won't just do a task because they've been told to do. Whereas our parents were brought up to follow orders, to listen to their superiors, to basically they were brought up by a generation walking out of colonialism.
Colonialism, yes.
You see what I mean? So they were still under that thing of what you're told is what you have to do. The master says.
Otherwise, yes. If you do otherwise,
you know what I mean?
You're punished for it.
So that generation went and brought up our parents. Now, our parents brought us up.
Yes.
But they brought us up in a world that was very rapidly changing. You see, a world that was rapidly changing, but our parents were also the first generation of Kenyan parents to both go to work.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. Because you can imagine after because like you said, your grandmother built a business for herself.
Yeah.
So you can imagine your grandpa is somewhere working.
Yeah.
Your grandma is at home doing something.
Exactly.
And her children saw that.
Yeah.
And she, of course, when she was doing her business, she saw, hey, this is beneficial for me.
Exactly.
My children will go to school.
Yes.
Probably if I would have gone to school and finished my education, it would have been easier.
That's it.
So I'm going to take my children to school so that it's better and it's easier for them.
Exactly.
And you see, it's passed on. So
That's
it's like
it.
with every generation, it gets better and better and better.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So it's like, so being that first generation, it means that a lot of us as children were brought up either by strangers or in boarding schools.
Yeah.
We were the first generation, no, maybe the second.
The second.
But sana the first real generation to be warehoused. Most of our parents didn't go to boarding school.
Mine did.
No, but most of our parents. How many of your parents' friends do you know that actually went to boarding school? Most of them walienda shule ushago na walikuwa day school.
Okay, mine is different, but
No. Because yours.
Yes.
When you talk about your parents are highly skilled people. How many people in your family, both sides, are that highly skilled?
Not
exactly. Your parents ndo wale walikuwa nategemewa. Same with my parents, but my parents still didn't go to boarding school. My father went to boarding school in high school. You see, but our generation was the first generation where you saw children being put in boarding school at standard 3, standard 2, standard 1.
Okay, yeah. No, I get you.
Do you see?
True, yeah.
Most of our parents, hata when you were boarding school, were the ones who went to national school or provincial schools.
Yes, it's true.
You see?
Let's call it what? That funny.
Yeah. So, iyo, The high achievers are the ones who were then warehoused.
Yeah.
However, for most of our generation, especially here in Africa, we were warehoused.
Yeah.
You know, and the ones who were not warehoused were brought up by
relatives,
auntie.
Somebody else other
Auntie
than your mother and
wakazi
father.
ama auntie. No.
Auntie, mom, dad, sister, whoever.
Exactly.
Or
we were brought
the
up
nanny.
by other people.
Yeah.
You see, so we are that first generation. So we grew up in a very different way. We were, I feel, we were the first generation to stop, to walk away from Africanism.
Yeah, because you're doing things differently. I mean, you're being raised by other people.
Yeah.
Your parents are away.
Exactly.
You're going away. You're in school like half your childhood actually.
Yeah.
Because
most of our parents had disposable income, so most of us were that first generation to have a TV in almost every house.
In every household, yes.
You know, hata kama ilikuwa inaanza 5 inaisha 11.
National anthem, you're here watching
exactly.
the steps, you're waiting.
That's it. Wow. But we were that generation where you had a TV, your neighbor had a TV.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one TV in the
one
neighborhood.
TV in the hood, yes.
You see what I mean? So we were that generation that were exposed to
so many things.
Exactly,
so
that outside world that our parents didn't know about, maybe unless they read the newspaper, which in those days was very, very like South Korea, I mean North Korea. It was very, very, very...
like, guys will get a newspaper.
We had one president for 25 years. For those who don't know,
Baba na mama wataifa.
One president for 25 years. And he made sure in most of that 25 years that he ran the narrative of what the nation followed. It was a dictatorship.
Yes.
You see?
First thing you see on the newspaper is...
If somebody dared to say something weird on the news, you were fired, or people heard that you were found dead somewhere.
You disappeared.
You
were found.
You were disappeared.
You know?
Yeah? You were chefed.
Yeah, house things, I'm just saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people think that ilikuwa what's it called? That like there were stories, but where there's smoke, there's fire.
It's coming from somewhere.
But then we look at the things that people say about millennials. Being that first generation that was exposed to these things, being that first generation that if I wanted something, I could just go to a shop over there or a supermarket near home. We didn't have to travel miles to go to a wholesaler. So that's the first generation also where instant gratification started. You see, if I wanted a bike, all I had to do was do well at school. And I'd be told, end of the term, if you do well, you'll get a watch. If you do well, you'll get a bike.
Exactly.
And even whether I did well or not, you said you get me a bike.
But you said,
you know, but well is relative.
Exactly.
You told me if I'm number one, we can't all be number one. Nilishindona 1 mark, surely. Just
you
still buy me a
if
bike.
I get good marks. To me, good marks is I improved. I got plus.
Exactly.
So,
you know,
give me.
We have to think about, when we talk about millennials, we have to think about why they are how they are and what kind of what's it called children are they going to raise. But before we go to their children, let us think about how to work with this generation. Yeah? You know very well that if you're going to employ a millennial or you're going to work with a millennial, there's going to be a lot of whys. Or a millennial's child, because our children are worse. Because if you imagine that we're going to ask you how many whys, imagine what I've taught my child. I've taught my child, don't just do something because someone tells you to do it.
Why you do
ask
why you're doing it.
You know. So for the older generation who are employing us, who are working with us, please know yourself. Know why you're asking me to do this thing.
Why should I turn it?
Do you get me? Also know that I have options, and I know that I have options. We're not living in a world where I had to sit in one job for the rest of my life. Yes, people are saying that jobs are scarce, but they're not really. Come on, if you're highly skilled, you can literally either work from one job,
couple of jobs
or even be self-employed. It's very easy to be self-employed. We have options. Millennials have options. You know, We're used to instant gratification. So basically, if you're going to give me a task that will allow me to see why I was doing that task.
Exactly.
You see,
I need to see the end.
I want to see the end result.
Yes.
How have I benefited the company? How have I benefited the customer?
Yes.
How have I benefited you as my boss?
Why is this method better than this?
You know,
Yeah.
if you're telling me to do it this way, and I know that there's a better way of doing it, tell me why I should do it that way.
Why this
if I
way?
have a more efficient way and I do it in my way and it works, don't chastise me.
Yeah. Just because I didn't follow how
Think
you
about
wanted.
learning and maybe implementing that, because we are born, yani sisi tulikuwa tunacheza with a purpose.
Exactly. By then, everything we used to play with at the time, we are
You
applying
know,
now.
Exactly. You know, ukicheza kalongo, si hatukuwa tunacheza kalongo ya 3 stones. Tulikuwa tunatengeneza jiko.
Unachonga mkebe,
Yeah.
you make...
Tunatengeneza jiko.
Does it?
We were
From
not kicking
scratch.
stones. We were making balls.
We're making balls. Out of whichever material. Last time you used paper bag, the next time you use something, you always improve it.
You know what I mean?
Because you're like, this one bounces better.
Exactly. So basically, this one goes further. So we will put a stone inside so that when we kick it, it goes further. So we were left to our devices a lot, but we
made
also,
it work for
exactly.
us. Yeah, we made it work for us.
Exactly. You know? So people say that we are entitled, we feel like, oh, we want things a certain way. And it's true. It's not always a good thing. However, if we learn how to harness these things, because let's not forget, the generation before us, the ones who complain about us, they're the ones who raised us.
They're the ones who raised us. Yeah, and they exposed us to all of this. You know, and now it's actually made us better people.
Yeah,
and they don't understand.
Yes,
they're like, these ones.
Yes.
Why you like this? Why are you feeling so entitled? Why do you feel like you know more than I do?
But the problem also with us, and maybe not the earlier millennials, the later millennials, those who were born in the mid-90s, it's now the generation just before. The ones who did not have enough of anything, who now wanted to give their children everything, who have now created a situation where somebody wants a medal for everything. Oh, look, I turned up for something that I should have been turning up for in the first place. Clap for me, because my mommy would have.
Mom, I swallowed my water.
You know. Oh, look at me, I'm breathing. A clap for me. If you don't breathe, you will die.
Choose which side of this side you want to,
you know what I mean?
You want to be.
So, but we have to remember that when we are dealing with people who've been brought up in that environment, they are now looking at their boss to be mommy.
Yeah. Dear boss, reward system. Here you are.
You see? Yeah. So if you're dealing with people like that, then you need to know how to win them off this. There's no point coming down heavy on them, telling them to grow up. They cannot, because they've had 25 years, they've had 30 years, they've had 35 years of that conditioning.
Same system.
You see what I mean?
And you could just can't.
Exactly. So what we then need to do, in my opinion, as employers, is look. Obviously, every person will be different, but look at those negative characteristics that we think they have, and think about it like this. How can I harness that? This person works very well on their own. All I need to tell them is what to do, and leave them alone.
Leave them to do it. You do it, though you'll do it. I just need this.
You know what I mean? I need this job done. I mean, we don't see the need of doing a task for a whole day when I can do it in 2 hours.
In 2 hours.
You see? Yeah. There's no point leaving. Like now, I saw this morning, Microsoft has asked their people, I don't know how true it is, and I always say this because I didn't have time to research it and see how true it is, but apparently Microsoft have asked their employees who are working from home to continue working from home. And do you remember there's a show we had here? Yeah. And we said, how are we going to deal with the world post-pandemic? Yeah? And we said that people who can start lobbying your companies to let you work from home. Yeah. And this is Microsoft have seen something which it's a coincidence that we were going to talk about this, and then I saw it. You know, it's about thinking. This generation works well like this.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? They are okay without supervision because they were brought up by people who just left them to their own devices.
This is what you're
mainly
expected to do.
Yes.
Do it.
Unajua,
finish.
kwanza hapa hivi Afrika, ulikuwa unaambiwa nikikuja nipate umefanya ABCD. Na nisipopata viboko na kiboko ile ilikuwa unachuniwa, ulikuwa unachuniwa huko doni na kwenye ni greeny. Mama yako anakuchunia kiboko akijua anakuja kupata kama hujafanya.
From Don home to Greenfields, my friend, you marinated.
But also we were very clever as kids. We knew those kids who used to be beaten. So
start chasing you to go home.
Around home time.
Where? You know your
mom is nearly home. You know.
Where? You know. You're going to get in trouble and then tomorrow you
when people see your mom from Uko, say somebody saw your mom walking from Uko Doni.
My friend.
Mbio. Siaka.
My friend.
Sharu. Madako anakam.
Run for your life. Run for your life, man. Ulifanya kazi zako.
You know. And the thing is, we were used to that job.
15 minutes,
exactly. 15 minutes you're done. So you're thinking.
And you're clean.
Why does she keep me here doing these things for 2 hours, 3 hours, the whole afternoon, when I can literally do it 15 to 20 minutes between her walk from Donholm to Greenfield?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And thank God the bus stop was this far, because by the time she battles home with her mzigos and whatnot, and your kiboko and her armpit, you're thinking, aye!
You know, so it's like we need to, with this thing about working from home, when we talked about it on that show, we were saying how imesaidia sana because it's improved the quality of life of people. It's reduced that commute, which another thing that it's good for is the environment. And this is something that we talk about a lot all the time. It's a big topic right now, the environment. You know what I mean?
Yes. You're saving time because you can imagine that commute. At least you're working from home, so you're saving time on that commute. So you're more productive because those 2 hours you'd have taken traveling to work. By those 2 hours, you've done your work. You're there. You've kicked your feet up. You're thinking, okay, what else to do? So you see, like at least you're comfortable. So you plan yourself better. And again, you're at home. You spend time with your family. So it's wholesome.
And that takes us into that topic of productivity. We'll talk about productivity before multitasking because I feel like while we're talking about productivity, we might as well just dive into it. You know. Spending more time on a task doesn't mean being more productive at that task.
Stop being busy, being busy.
So when we talk about selling our time for money, it doesn't matter. Those people who choose to be employed, they know that this is their best option. However, look at who's employing you and their policies. You see what I mean? There's no point someone employing you on an 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, 9 to 5 for tasks that you're twiddling your thumb all day. You're literally playing solitaire half the day.
Exactly.
You know? And as employers, we should also think about it this way. If I employ someone and I say to them, I need you here from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whatever. But we know that the task that we're giving them only takes 2 hours. Let them do that task in 2 hours. Pay them for the 2 hours. Let them go and use the rest of the day to do something else. That way, your costs as well as an employer come down.
They reduce.
You know what I mean? Massively. Because then you can employ 2 people to do different tasks. Because one of them only works part-time, the other one only works part-time. But they do 2 different tasks, or even 3 people to do those 3 different tasks. You see what I mean? So you can have an admin person, you can have somebody who sits there and just makes sure, you can have 3 different jobs done for the price of one person. If you just allowed the people to work in a different way. You know what I mean? If somebody works from Sunday to Sunday, but really all you need them there for is Monday to Friday, or Monday to Wednesday, or Monday to Thursday. They would be more productive if they had that other time to do their thing outside your time. So that when they're there, and you can look at research, and a lot of women are now more productive in the workplace because they're being allowed to work part-time. They work 3 days a week. The rest of the 4 days, they're doing,
sorting out
if they're moms, if they're, you know what I mean? So that when this person is here, they're here.
Because it doesn't mean that when you get a job, it means that everything else in your life stops.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because I mean, when you leave work, you're going back home. You're a wife, you're a husband, you're a mother.
Exactly.
Yeah, or maybe you even have like another what do you call it? Side gig somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you're a boss here, you're an employee here, you're a parent there, you're a spouse there.
Yeah. And all these things have to be what's it called?
Well
exactly.
and
that also is like when you talk about multitasking. Yeah. So when a lot of people say they can multitask, but are they really multitasking?
You're killing
yourself. Do you believe in multitasking?
I do, especially if because you can imagine you have a lot of, say like here in the studio now. Yeah. And easily, you could have your recording, your editing, your what else? Your broadcasting. Yeah. All those things require me to be in the same place. Yeah. So if I set up all my things at the right time, within, say, maybe like in an hour or two, I'll be done with this space. I do whatever I'm supposed to do here, so that when I leave here, I'm comfortable because I know, okay, nilifanya part yangu ya production,
But are you really multitasking, or are you rapidly shifting from one task to another? Do you see? When people say multitasking, what they're implying is, I'm doing two things at the same time.
Yeah, you're able to do multiple tasks at the same time.
But are you really multitasking? Because, think about it.
Yes.
Multitasking means these two things simultaneously. I am kissing you and talking to you at the same time.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Do you see?
That's impossible.
I am cooking here, but helping my child with homework. Do you see? It means that every time I stop doing this for a few, even if it's for a few seconds, I am not really multitasking. So, multitasking as a word, is it even a word? Research shows that people who claim to multitask are generally 40% less productive.
Because you keep stopping this one to do the other,
Yeah. Have you noticed that when someone tries to talk to me when I'm doing something, I say to them, please wait.
Yeah.
Because I have realized that I'm not very good at multitasking.
Procrastination inaingilianga, by the way.
You know what I mean? I am not very good at all at multitasking. What's that?
I have seen where it comes from.
What's that?
You okay?
Do you see? Sometimes I completely lock everything out and do one thing, and then when I finish, I'm like, okay, I got this from my son.
Let's go to the
because
next.
he's grown up with me, and I'm shit at multitasking. When he told me to go to parenting classes, because I don't listen, I was like, okay. My child was 7 years old, and literally what he pointed out to me was, you are shit at multitasking.
You need to take this class. You need somebody to teach you how to.
And I asked him, why do you think, and I say this story all the time, and every time I say it, it just hits me again. He came home with a letter telling me that they're offering parenting classes at school.
And I think you should go.
And I think you should go. And I said, why should I go to parenting classes? I think I'm a dope mom. He said, you don't listen.
See, you're doing it again.
Exactly. The problem
wasn't
that I wasn't listening. The problem was I thought I was such a good multitasker that whenever he came home, I was there cooking, I was there cleaning, I was trying to help him with his homework.
A conversation at the same time.
All he felt was like I was doing all these other things, but he was coming last. I wasn't listening. So now, I then decided when he comes home, we have an hour to do homework, to go to the shops and buy sweets or whatever, just be present. Or even if it's half an hour. But that half an hour, I literally timed it on my phone and I said, I have half an hour, it's yours.
And again, half an hour is good enough because I mean their concentration span is non-existent.
You know what I mean? So it's yours. We're going to read for 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes, my phone goes on aeroplane mode.
And I'm thinking that's a good plan to apply in business.
In
Because
business
you can
as well.
imagine you have a task to do. And multitasking, the more we talk about it, I swear this thing is a fallacy. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because, say you're supposed to do your records.
Yeah.
Set your time.
Yes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm done. Ooh,
Yeah.
5 more minutes.
Yeah.
You have a choice either to take a rest to take a break or prepare for the next task. You're done with that. Yeah, you pick the next thing. You're supposed to write a report. Sawa. Set your time.
Yeah.
Because like you said, at least when you set your time, you know, I have this time to do this.
Exactly.
So you're like, and all your concentration at the time
Is
there. You're done. And I think it also helps you plan your day better.
Course.
And you
Of
prioritize
course.
better.
Exactly.
Because you're
It's
not all over the place.
That's it. It's like I will have a meeting and have lunch. Unless it's literally a lunch meeting, you eat first and then you talk.
Exactly.
There's no point having a lunch meeting with someone,
Chomping
a prospective client.
Yeah.
You're talking and eating.
You
know what I mean?
Are you eating or are you having your meeting?
Eat and then have your meeting,
Yeah.
or have your meeting and then eat.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, for example, if you're having a meeting with Night Atieno, Night Atieno shuts up, eats her food, and then talks. I won't be listening to you. I'm not trying to listen to you when I'm
savoring your food.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So when we think about multitasking in business, and as business people, when we set those who work with us tasks, let's remember that if this person is doing this, then they cannot be doing the other. Because something's gotta give.
Procrastination.
You know,
from there.
also sometimes when you give yourself too much to do, it's like you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You
and
know
then now you're not productive at all.
It's better to say, in this hour, I'm going to do this. In the next hour, I'm going to do that. In the next hour, I'm going to do that. Now, whether you get that first task done or not and eat into the second hour, that's on you.
Yes.
Or if you leave it and come back to it, that's also on you. Because you might leave it, at least you've left it. Yeah? You do the next one. You finish it a bit earlier. Take that time to
prepare for the next
one. You see what I mean? Yeah? So, multitasking. Yeah? Have you thought about it differently? You remember yesterday when we talked about it, I was like, okay. I'm just listening to you, But how do you think about it now that we've had that discussion?
I think it's a fallacy.
Yeah.
You just need to list your what do you call it, your tasks.
Yeah.
And then allocate them time.
Yeah.
Allocate them time. They could be in the same area. If it's in the same area, finish one, go to the next, to the next, to the next. So that by the time you're leaving that area, you're done.
And especially if you're in business and you have a family, it's so important to have that sacred time with your family, especially when if you have kids and they're still young. You know?
They stop feeling like miscellaneous.
Yeah. I think DJ Roy Amesema, our producer, the human brain is slow. It cannot multitask. No, but it's true. It's like now, if you were talking to me and I was trying to read that, I would have to switch something out.
Not listen to me so that you can read that.
I know myself now.
Yes.
Now I'm older. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, I'm invincible. I can do multiple things. No. Nowadays, I know. If someone is distracting me, I put my headphones on and I'm out. I'm in this zone. I'm doing this thing. When it's done, I do the next thing. You know, if you run multiple businesses, when do you do one of the businesses? When do you do the other?
Business,
you see what I mean? You cannot be everywhere at once. You cannot be in your food business while you're there trying to talk to your studio manager. No, listen, I need to finish with this food business. I'll be there in 30 minutes, 1 hour. I'll be there tomorrow. Write everything you need to talk to me about, and then we will concentrate on you. I'll give you that time, and we can sort it out. Unless it's something urgent. In which case, this other person can wait, and this one has to take priority. You know? Think about your businesses, especially those people who run multiple businesses. think about your businesses as an emergency room, casualty. You know, it doesn't matter who came first. Somebody can come to casualty at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'll be seen at 2. And the next person comes in now, and they're seen to now. Why? Because their life is in danger.
True. Priority.
You see,
Priority.
you can't run everything at the same time.
At the same time, it's impossible. And I think again, you should put say, even like when you're putting your deadlines. Fine, you're supposed to sort out the books. Say it's maybe like the 16th of the month, and you still have like the rest of the month to do it. If it's not if it's not an emergency, let me call it. If it's not an emergency, you don't need to deal with that right now because you have a deadline of this day. Because there could be something else that is more important that if you don't sort out now, it's going to affect the business. And it's going to cause a lot of issues. You know. So even when you're setting your deadlines, I think it's important that you prioritize them and see which one needs tending to first, other than just because I said it's supposed to be done at this time. So.
Exactly. And allowing our people autonomy, allowing them to be able to say, yes, I know you told me to put these things up, but for example, here at the studio, we have a certain show coming up, and we hadn't prepared for that. So I decided, let me prepare for that. But again, communication is key. Yeah? Encouraging your people to be able to speak to you, you know, because that way, when you allow people autonomy, it makes them able to make those decisions. And for the younger ones, it makes them learn to prioritize, you know, because if they prioritize wrongly today, they will think, do you know what? Last week,
I got away with it.
I effed up. So today, I need to
up my game.
Exactly. XYZ, so that at least that is done, and the other one is done. You know what I mean? Allowing people to work smart and not work hard. You know? And the reason why we get people as business owners to help us is so that we are able to multitask. The only way you can multitask is by assigning people duties.
True.
Delegating.
True. You do this, you do this, you do. By 20 minutes, we are done. Like, that's it. Everything has been done within our 20 minutes.
Do you remember, like that day when we were, crisis
controlling.
That day, everyone was assigned a duty, and everyone did that duty, and within a couple of hours, the company was back up and running, no sweat.
We had our show.
You know,
seamless.
Exactly. Yeah. But had we, me and you, said that we're going to do everything. Ama tukangekuwa na shida kidogo. Ama mimi ningejiambia Night Atieno endo ule msee.
I got this. Do you go?
You know what I mean? Really you are that person. You're that guy.
That's the only way you can multitask. I think that's the only thing that makes
sense. Ask for help. You know? Ask
for help. Delegate. Call somebody. Yes, work smart.
Exactly.
Working hard is good, but working smart is better.
Yeah.
Saves you time, saves you energy, keeps you more productive.
Exactly.
And relatable.
And a part of working smart is about planning. You say this all the time. Plan.
Yes, plan.
You know.
Plan. Write down your tasks if you have to. Prioritize. Offset.
I don't like planning.
It's for some
like I know that random. I know in my day with the regular stuff like doing delivery stuff like that. I know that one I have to do, but planning too far ahead and too rigid plans always remind me of school and exams, and I don't like that.
Necessarily, you don't have to time them. Just list your tasks, and you know, like when you do it, whatever time, just like you said. This is what I need you to do. Do it. Minimeenda. No, it doesn't matter whether you're going to do it immediately or you're going to do it at whatever time. I just know that at 2, if there's a report that's needed,
it's done.
Because that thing of at 9 a.m. I will do at...
And also, let's remember who we're working with. You know, like today we're talking about millennials, and we're talking about millennials getting a bad rap. But I believe that, and especially those millennials who are employed by the previous generation before us, we employers, business owners, remember that you need to, as a leader, learn your people, learn their strengths and weaknesses,
and that way you can
exploit their strengths, and minimize the effects of their weaknesses on the business.
Msaidiane.
You know what I mean? If someone doesn't have very good self-esteem because of the culture or whatever, then you need to think about it as a leader. How do I boost this person? I mean, you're not trying to be their mom, but what you're trying to do is get the best out of them.
So at least you've seen
something
in the back.
Does someone work better by being praised?
Yes.
If this is a millennial and they're used to being given certificates for nothing, you have two options. Yeah,
give them
do a weekly meeting where you everyone claps for everyone. Yay! So and so did this. Yay! So and so came to work on time. Yay! Here's a smiley sticker. Yay! You know. So think about it. It's true. Yeah.
No, I'm actually laughing because I've seen that happening somewhere.
Where?
There's
not where, but
there's a training that I went for.
Yeah.
And now we were split into groups. Yeah. And of course, if your group had you guys performed well.
Yes.
We used to do this on Fridays.
Yeah.
So there was an incentive that was being given.
Pesa.
So if you made those money, those lunches, dinners, just
don't buy me food as an incentive. I can buy my own food. Give me money.
Yes, made a dinner. You've done something out of your norm. But at least like every Friday, you'd find that it would get to that day, and people are pushing themselves. People are pushing themselves.
Oh yeah, to be the best.
Yeah, you're like, hey, wait, last week
was you millennials?
But they're fun enough. Most of them, were those guys.
Exactly. So were you guys? What are those guys?
Us millennials. But then millennials ni watu wa 2000, but I was corrected. Kumbe hao ni generation Z. Yeah, so you can imagine, at least it's an incentive, because you can imagine the guy on top at the top there has seen, these guys kidogo shortly wanaanza kuflag, wanaanza kwenda. How do I boost these guys? How do I make them look forward to and a job? How do I make a sale? How do I become more productive?
Yeah.
So incentive works. You can clap for them and give them to bahashas and give them stars.
It depends. That's what I'm saying.
To get
you
stars.
See, our parents' generation, it was more praise.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good job.
Good job.
Yes.
You've done well.
Yes.
Promotion.
Yes.
You know.
Next time do better.
For us, it's more like, wow, you helped that customer. Show me.
Yeah, show me how you did it. How you do it.
Yeah. We're the generation that likes to give to charity. You see what I mean?
So
don't tell me that you're going to give me money. Maybe tell me how this organization is now helping a certain charitable cause, and see millennials jump on it. Millennials and our children.
I made a
millennials.
Change. I went out there and did something good.
But what you also have to remember is we jump on bandwagons. We are jumpers. Today we're doing the ice bucket challenge. Tomorrow it's something else for another charity we know nothing about. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask people why they poured ice water on themselves,
they cannot explain.
They'll tell you it was the ice bucket challenge.
Why? It was a challenge.
What is ALS? What is another name for ALS?
What is ALS?
It's a disease. So, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why the ice bucket challenge was being done. But most people, you saw the ice bucket challenge, you don't even know what it was about. You probably were tempted.
No, I was like, no, why are they? Because again, I asked why. I was like, why, Bob?
Exactly, but you were not curious enough. Had your employer come to you guys, I think you were doing team building at the time. Had they come to you and said, as a team, we're going to do the ice bucket challenge, and then we're going to have supper together, team building, everyone would have jumped on it without even asking.
Hoo-ha!
Exactly. you see, so we're that generation. You know.
Yeah.
But we always want to see the purpose. So the people who work with millennials, even ourselves as millennials, we have to know how we are cultured as a group.
As a group, yeah.
You know what I mean? What is it that incentivizes us? You know?
Yeah.
We're charitable.
Yeah, very much.
You know?
Yeah.
We want a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
We like to be happy clapped for. And that is why so many of us go into MLMs.
Yes.
You know?
So this day, Nani made the sale.
Exactly.
Let's throw a party for you.
You know, we're having a big party at the end of the year to celebrate everyone who did sales over 100,000. Now,
just like we're going to be having what do you call it? A thing at the end of November.
Yeah.
A fitness.
Oh yes, Alexa Wellness, our proud sponsors, are having
a fitness challenge.
A fitness challenge then.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was a hike.
Oh, na hike pia. I thought tuko na vitu mingi. Sorry.
Alexa Wellness are planning a hike on that first 7th of September.
7th of November.
November, guy.
Yeah.
The year is over. 7th of November.
Beach bodies.
There'll be more details on the Galactic page and also on the Elixir page. So, guys, keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be between 1,200 and 1,500, and that will include everything you need plus glucose, such like things, boiled eggs, banana.
You know what I mean? You'd have worked out
healthy things, you know, and that's what Elixir is going to be doing. But let's think about what we can do to work smarter. Let's think about things like what software is available for to us. You know what I mean? Who are we delegating to? Because it's not just about delegating. It's about who am I delegating to. Is this person better at the task I'm giving them than me? Because if they are, then it's their task.
By all means, take
if they're not.
Paule, for making our own choice.
Just do your job and do the other job as well.
Just deliver, because
you know what I mean.
Because running after
get paid
this
twice.
person.
You know, there's no point delegating to someone and then coming back and going, oh, why didn't you do it? Now I have to do it myself.
Exactly. So you've wasted time there.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense. You know, we wrote a topic here today. Map reading. Ama ulikuwa na mengine ya kusema before we go to map reading?
That thing for working smart. Learn to automate your biz. Hii maneno ya tunashinda ati mnaenda mkifuatana ati kulipa ati uko na change sina change, uko na change sina change. My friend, pay bill is your friend. Pay bill is your friend.
Till numbers are easier to get and they're cheaper to run for smaller businesses.
So try and catch up with these things. These things are all over there. Your marketing. You don't have to go at you door to door. I got a phone. I'm selling this kind of phone. My friend, internet.
Oh, I thought you said you were selling your phone.
Because you can imagine now, in the old days, you
I'll
can
swap you with my kabambe.
I don't want it. It's not smart.
My kabambe is smarter than yours.
Giving me your kabambe.
Wacha nikwambie kabambe yangu. Wachani niwaambie kabambe yangu inafanya smiley na 32 clicks, 33 clicks depending on which smile you want.
Yangu smiley iko tu hapo.
However, gava yezi ni get. My phone is smarter.
They know to find you at Galactic. So
those crazy lovers, ex-lovers who like to stalk me
from Canada,
they cannot find me with my kabambe.
These people know you're at Galactic. They will find this Galactic. But we see her stalkers a lot.
But anyway, on a more serious note, guys, let's talk about map reading skills. When we say about map reading skills, it's not just about reading a map. It's the ability to get from A to B without your gadgets.
Imagine it was that simple. People, I'm sure, are overthinking it.
You know, can I be able to perform that task if I didn't have my computer today? Most days, we don't need to think about it because as a Jaluo, self-respecting and everything, I have a phone, a backup phone, a backup, kabambe,
Tubambes,
a laptop,
tablet,
tablet.
My friend, akaona mpaka ile ukuta ile kuswipe hivi kwa ukuta nani hata sijui nini. Lole kali proven this one.
Lakini stima ikiisha.
My friend.
Oh,
transformer ianguke tena kama ile siku nyingine ile.
I have a power bank.
Your power bank.
But guys, even more seriously, let's think about technology the convenience of it.
Yes.
But also, let's always think that before these things were available, we had to have other skills. Yeah. If you have to drive from here to Kisumu, would you be able to go without your sat-nav, for example? Yeah? If you have to drive from here to Meru, would you be able to go? Would you be able to see that that map tells me that there's a fork in the road? Now I need to go left, but it's not really
decisions.
Do you see what
which one is a sharp turn, which one is a bend,
exactly.
which one is what, which one am I taking?
That's it. Can I survive this world of this technological world, this digital world, without my gadgets?
You've talked of motives, then I remembered that screen that chomokas when you're reversing your car. If that screen goes off, can you still reverse your car?
Most people can't.
Can you still reverse your car?
Some people can't even do parallel parking. Watu wengine walinunua license.
Exactly.
Kusema tu kweli.
Because you're there.
My first license, nilinunuliwa. I was only 18. Tuliambiwa, drive from here to there, give you 3,000 there, and you were given a license. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they still do that.
No, people still do it. It's not a lie, Cindy. They still do it.
What people say?
You know. So
yeah,
exactly. But let's not forget that when these things happen, it's not, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's like kubeba mwako kwa exam. Umebeba mwako, umeget A. Haya, umeitwa uni. Best ya mine. Kumbe wendo
ulipita theory, kuja ufanye practicals nani. Aujui nini.
Unajua, let me tell you something. When you go to school, you think it's hard. And then you go to university. And you're on your own.
That's where you start summoning your ancestors.
No, that is where the people who grew up in the 90s, masters of Mwakenya. Nakwambia tulikuwa tunakunja mwako. Ki umeandika textbook mzima kwa kakaratasi kako hivi. Unafanya tu hivi.
Kwa bairo hivi.
Wacha nikwambie tulikuwa. No. Wase lazima tuwafundishe kutengeneza Mwakenya.
That paper is the size of a straw.
Mwakenya. For those children who are going to do exams this year, msiteseke, wacha nini waoneshe vile mtafanya.
There is help.
Let me tell you, this is your help here. And these are the views of Night Atieno, not of Galactic Productions or that show. Watch. Once you've done that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Yes? So, in most cases, you already have a leak.
Bas.
So you know, at least 4 possible. At least moja mambili zitakuja. Do hizo leak zikuangi za uongo. Haya, this is about working smart people. This is where good business people are made. We work smart. Now, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 topics.
Yes.
It comes to folding it. You fold it in a way that during the examination, it will be easy to read.
You remember those fans you're making in school, the way you make in and out.
For the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to cut this short. Now, during the exam, mtu atakupataje na kitu kai? Hata mtu akipita unafanya tu hivi unaendelea kuandika.
Hivi wanasachiwa manini?
Nani? Nisata, are you going to start my mouth?
Security, come on, get this one. I cannot. My hands are blocked. Nimeanguka huko chini. Nimerudi chini ya speaker.
Watoto wa uhunye.
Sasa vile textbook zao sasa hizi imepunguzwa, topics zote zimeshikishwa.
Can fit under your tongue. Weka kwa juala.
Akikuna mwalimu amewatch.
Hapo. Good
morning.
My tongue is swollen.
decoder home.
Ukishaingia pale
Kwanza
unakohoa.
Kwanza sasa hivi wanaenda shule na mask.
Mako imetoka. Sasa hivi unaenda na mask, hata unaika tu hapa ndani ya mask. Hata inatuingia kwa mdomo. These people think they're clever. We're doing exams here that will not help us in life. Andika mwa Kenya.
Yes, andika mwa Kenya. Republish that book for them, I mean.
Sorry.
Ninakwambia kuna mwalimu amesikiza hapa na parents sasa hivi wanataka kubishana kusuguana.
It's all about working smart. Anyway, I'm not encouraging anyone to be caught cheating.
Ukishikwa shauri yako nani? Ukishikwa shauri yako.
I'm not encouraging anyone to be caught cheating.
You're just FYI.
Anyway, guys, on a more serious note, this show is over. It has taken a very different turn. So anyway, guys, let's remember that on a more serious note, we need to remember those softer skills, how to write, how to read. You know, there's so many amazing books published out here, but a lot of us are too busy on these gadgets, audiobooks and stuff like that. There's no, and even when you're going to listen to these audiobooks, sit down, pen and paper, andika.
Yeah. Write something down, notes.
You know, exactly. Because not only in writing those notes do you then execute what you have learned. Yeah?
It sticks.
Watu wa Kenya, ukishatumia mwa Kenya yako usitupe. Patia watu wa next year.
Please.
Let's not waste paper.
Because sana hiyo syllabus ita change too. Because you can imagine.
I changing.
I'll recycle.
Wacha nikwambie kitu. Books will change. Title na nini wanaandika new edition, alafu kile wanafanya chapter 1 inakuwa chapter 3 hivyo zinaanzwa differently.
Nikauzi puzzle alafu wana collect tu vile wamefanya.
But anyway, on that note, we will talk about education on Friday. I promise you. Come back here. Kwanza wenye wanataka kujua vile kutengeneza foolproof mwa Kenya, come back. Tukutane Friday. Yeah, people. Anyway, guys,
get in touch with
your
pen and paper.
Who say that millennials are impossible to work with, think about your attitude towards millennials. For those millennials who think that it's impossible to work with other generations, think about every generation is brought up differently. Think about the things that they were exposed to, the things they had, didn't have, all of that. Let us be a little bit more
conducive,
understanding, empathetic. You know, let us be empathetic to the plight of those who came before us.
Let's have a middle ground. Yeah, because you're different.
Exactly.
Different. We need to work together.
And also, let's remember that we need to raise our children not to face the same problems that we're facing.
Exactly.
Because literally, we as millennials are the shittest parents ever. Because what we've done is we've done what is called helicopter parenting. Because our parents were absent, now we are over present.
Yes. Tuko tu hapa just hovering around. What is that?
Hey, mtoto ataanguka.
What is that you're doing? Unafanya?
Okay, si ameanguka. Mtoto anakula mchanga.
Wewe ulikula nini na nini na wewe ulikunywa mpaka maji ya duster.
I know. So AfroFabb anajisema.
Mimi niliona.
AfroFabb ulikula na maji ya duster.
Mimi nilikula bob. Nikamiza few. Ilitoka lakini of course hiyo duster kuna mwenye niliona akifanya. But mimi najua nilikula bob.
This business show today has turned into something else. And I apologize because it's mainly my fault. Me, Night Atieno, and my cantankerous ways. But people, let's bring it back.
Now,
let's remember that sisi kama millennials tunataka kuambia we are hardworking, we are innovative, we are tech savvy, we are well educated, we are people who want to know why we're doing something.
So that
show us the purpose of what we're doing, and I promise you we will do above and beyond what you're asking us to do. Don't just give us orders and expect us to follow them, because we are also rebellious when we are faced with something that haina sense. You know, si hatupendi nonsense.
I'm not going to jump just because you say.
And millennials who are now employing the next generation. Remember that insofar as sisi tuko hivi, they are also lazy.
Instant gratification. Press here.
I don't mean lazy in a negative way. I mean lazy in a way that we are used to going out and getting things. They are not.
It's coming to them. Apo pali yuko.
Apa sahi nikitaka food. I have to get out of my house.
By the way,
nikitaka shopping yangu, I don't have to do any of that stuff. If this computer ikichapa sahi nataka ingine, online kwenye simu yangu inaletwa hapa sahi in a couple of hours.
And they come and fix it, and you continue as
so what it's done is it's also made us lazy. And when I say lazy, I don't mean lazy in a negative way per se. I just mean that we don't have to do certain things anymore. We don't have to perform certain tasks anymore. So let's remember that when we are dealing with different generations. When our parents or the people their age decide that they want to do a certain thing in a very inefficient way, let them. But also show them how to do it in a more efficient, time-saving, money-saving way.
True.
Because only in showing people do they learn. So let's have some empathy. Let's forget about this idea of multitasking on a regular basis, because the brain will just not. It will switch from one task to the next. And when we are doing one thing, you will not do the other. You know what I mean?
The only way you're multitasking is delegating your tasks.
You know what I mean? So let's work smart. Let's not forget those skills like map reading, which means write things down, plan things, put things in your calendar. Don't wait always for reminders. Don't over-rely on alarms, because what happens when that alarm doesn't go? I need to be able to wake up at 6 o'clock. I need to be able to wake up at 5:30 because I know by 6 I have to jump out of bed. Not waiting for my alarm to go at 6 so that I can snooze it and then jump out of bed at 9 past. Because it's usually 9 every 9 minutes or every 10 minutes. It reminds you. You know what I mean? So let's also think about our interaction with this amazing digital world and how it affects us when in the absence of that technology. Night Atieno. Stepping out. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
It's been brilliant.
That show on Galactic Productions. And if you want to know how to do a very successful Mwakenya, join us here on Friday.
On
Friday.
At 9 in the It's going to be late.
Right, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to support us by sharing, following, tagging people. Watch parties,
like invite everyone.
Things like that.
You've learned something about millennials now. Tell somebody who needs to listen to this, because
and also if you're refuting, please comment.
Yes, comment section.
You know what I mean? Comment now or after the show, or send us an inbox, or what is it called? DM.
Slide to the DM.
Slide hapo kwa DM.
It's like hapo #millennial things. Tafadhali tujue tunasoma nini. Unajua kuna wengine wanaingia pale kusema hi.
Oriti urubai.
Kweni na siku njema. Na wapenda aje kama pesa.
Thank you on behalf of me, Night Atieno,
AfroFabb,
and DJ Roy, our producer. Oriti urubai bye.
Have a good day.
Kwaherini.
One day she would grow to be a known worldwide presenter. Victoria Kimani didn't know that she would kill the show. Run Lagos before Nairobi felt out. Take a look at Lupita Nyong'o. A better life right now is full of pretenders. Spend a gitu now you know. Spend now me know. Tukambali na nimbali na enda. Now you can bet your money on me. Baby, I'm the real deal, real deal. And they can never slow me down. I'm a big deal. Mama told me, sit down, be humble, keep it classy, keep it real. She's a real go-getter. Anything you do, she do it better. She do it can shake her hand, tell her she a queen, she made something of herself. Now Waki catch feelings, she account shillings, top billing, while she in a private jet. Get down on your knees and praise, and then do your best. They don't know your tears, what you say. Speak now or forever hold your breath. Now you can bet your money on me, baby, I'm the real deal, and they can never slow me down. I'm a big deal. Mama told me, sit down, be humble, keep it classy like Victoria. She doing her thing though. She's a real go-getter. Anything you do, she do it better. She doing her thing though. And anything she wants, she will get it. Unapologetic. She doing her thing though. Unstoppable, a phenomenal. She doing her thing though. She a queen though. She a queen though. I wanna big up all the queens in the building. All the queens doing their thing. I see you, baby. Get on the floor one time. Now, picky mawa. Now you can bet your money on me, baby. I'm the real deal, and they can never slow me down. I'm a big deal. Mama told me, sit down, be humble, keep it classy, keep it real. She doing her thing though. She's a real go-getter. Anything you do, she do it better. She doing